Quick, leave a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds if you guys are hyped for the monster outbreak at Polar Peak. Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video here on my channel. So it seems when players are talking about this biggest subject right now, the eye in Fortnite, they're completely associating it with a dinosaur or dragon-like creature. However, upon some further inspection and ultimately details data mined from the game's files determining what we know so far, this most likely is not going to be the case, surprisingly. Correlating this data mined information to teasers pointed throughout each season until now, indicating the visit of a monster. I believe I've cracked the code of what this creature truly is. To find out everything in this video, because we're going to be discussing a ton of details regarding it and the build up to the event itself, then make sure you're watching the full thing, because like as just mentioned, this video is going to be compact, full of Season 9 live event information. If you guys are also interested in staying up to date with the latest updates regarding Season 9's development, especially up until the live event happening at Polar Peak with this eye or monster outbreak, then make sure you're subscribing to the channel, because 60% of my demographic watching the video, even right now or across any of my channel, aren't subscribed. So if you want to make a difference and want to stay up to date with all the newest updates and information, then make sure you're subscribing to the channel right now and turning on the post notification bell to receive all uploads as soon as I upload when I upload. I'm also currently running right now on the channel until June 20th, 2019, a free 2,800 V-Bucks giveaway. Here's how you guys can enter for a chance to win. All you need to do is leave a like in this video down below, subscribe to the channel with post notifications turned on so you never miss a future upload when I upload whatever I upload, and actively use my code on screen right now, code FriendTheMachine, in the item shop. Make sure you're checking every 2 weeks to see if it's automatically reset, because it does, and re-enter it, and it will remain on screen throughout the full video's duration in case you happen to forget it, in the top left hand corner of the screen. For increased odds and a high chance of winning, make sure you're simply staying active on the channel, because I announced this giveaway entry eligible for winning on all the videos posted until the giveaway winner is announced. The first thing we're going to be touching upon in today's video that many of you may already know is the fact that this creature upon breaking out will be an enemy to the Fortnite Battle Royale realm, thus either threatening all players on the island at that time in game or a certain named location to create map changes. We know this because of the game's files thanks to data miners, where it's in the enemy's asset file as well as the head textures. Obviously by now we know that this creature has a head, because a giant eye ultimately results in this creature having an even more gigantic head. As mentioned at the start of the video, many people don't really know what this eye is going to be connected to as of yet, however have already made the certain correlation in their videos and thumbnails that it will be some sort of dragon or dinosaur. If we compare the aesthetics of this eye to a dinosaur or dragon-like creature, however, there is not a clear correlation. With that said, what does this giant, round, human-like eye ultimately correlate to or resemble? The answer to that question may have been under our nose this whole time, or teased throughout the whole prior season, being some sort of sea creature. In particular, something that's had a large enforcement behind it, portrayed through the map changes and even some cosmetics, the Kraken. Throughout the duration of Season 8, there was a large emphasis on the Kraken making a visit to Fortnite through map changes big or small, or even in some of the cosmetics throughout Season 8's Battle Pass. Many players speculated that in Season 8, for a live event anyways, or that particular storyline live event development, that we would be seeing a visit from the Kraken. However, this directly would be too obvious, these teasers, to correlate with that current season of which they were implemented. Epic Games, as you guys know, the developers of Fortnite, are mastermind trolls or cryptic teasers to what's going to be going down either in the very late future from its implementation, this initial tease, or at the very least they try and throw us off from the real truth. With that said, applying this motive to this Polar Peak eye that's frozen in the iceberg, whatever we're going to be seeing break out of this will be completely unexpected. With that said, and linking this to the assumption of what this monster will be, a dragon, players have come to this conclusion because, well, we've seen dragon eggs implemented, firstly initially in this iceberg at Polar Peak, that were later removed, and there's also this giant monster or dragon-like dinosaur footprint directly outside of the named location. With all the teasers pointing towards a dragon trapped underneath here being almost too obvious or not cryptic in the slightest, I don't believe this will be a dragon, and leading off the textures or the kind of style of the eye itself, I ultimately believe we'll be seeing a visit of the Kraken. This actually makes a lot more sense than many may think, considering, I mean, an octopus in itself and the Kraken do have eyes similar to the shape and aesthetical view of this eye frozen. Not only that, but Polar Peak is a very strange named location. Ever since its implementation or wash up at the start of Season 7 in the trailer literally shown, it's had a very large emphasis and effect on the map. from the Ice King in the Ice Storm event, leading the whole island to be flooded and then reversed by the doing of the prisoner skin upon his escape from this frozen dungeon, again inside the bottom layers of the ice castle at Polar Peak. It's blatantly obvious that Epic Games, considering the implementation of this eye, haven't stopped on the emphasis in the storyline of Polar Peak's importance. I understand based off everything we've covered up until now in today's video that the theory of this monster or this eye belonging to a monster, particularly the kraken, may seem far-fetched. However, if we take a look, an obvious inspection at the eye, based off what it's not doing that an eye normally does, is blink. And sea monsters or sea creatures typically don't blink. Furthermore, resemblance indicating this eye belonging to that of a sea creature in the ocean's depth are the sound files that were leaked. These sound files initially were thought to be shrieks or cries from a hatching or newborn dragon / dinosaur. Considering we know this thing is alive right now because the eye's poking out of this iceberg at Polar Peak, I don't think this will be the case, and considering it doesn't exactly resemble anything of a reptile or dragon, these cries or shrieks, and almost sounds like calls of a dolphin, this furthermore correlates this theory again, because dolphins are in the depths of the ocean, that this is correlated to the kraken. Again, even that theory may be considered a long shot, but there's furthermore proof pointing towards this ultimately being a kraken most likely rather than a dragon or dinosaur. This again leads back to the initial drift or wash up of the iceberg in the Season 7 trailer, or at the particular start of that allocated season. Players noticed towards the end days or the final day especially of Season 6 that an iceberg or set of ice floating with a giant iceberg behind it was drifting closer and closer toward the map in the southwest vicinity. This initially started as a distant ice fog cloud with the iceberg hidden behind it, but upon closer drift of the iceberg to the Battle Royale realm, we were able to fully determine what the purpose of this ice fog cloud was, or even where it came from. The main reason this southwest vicinity of the map is most important is because, well, in the Season 8 trailer itself, if you take a close look and inspection at the map, you can see in the southwest coordinates that a giant kraken-like squid monster can be seen in this very same southwest vicinity. Considering the bottom layers or the very beneath of this iceberg itself can't have changed since Season 7, considering, well, it's not melted, is it possible that a giant kraken-like monster could have been frozen underneath Polar Peak upon the wash-up of this iceberg, or at the very least, its head bringing the body and tentacles of this creature along with its drift? If this is the case and this theory is ultimately correct, this directly makes sense of the Season 7 live Ice Storm event that occurred obviously halfway through Season 7's duration. Maybe the Ice King didn't realise this frozen creature was underneath the iceberg until it was too late upon the collision, or the stabilisation upon collision of the iceberg to the Battle Royale realm. For this reason, he maybe wanted to directly freeze the entire island to ensure the secure safety of this frozen creature, so it could not do any more damage considering we know it to be an enemy. This particular theory in itself directly reflects the manner and subtlety of which Epic Games go down when teasing something big coming to the map. The clear correlation in the southwest vicinity of the map of this iceberg where it floated up and this kraken located on the pirate map is just too much of a coincidence. Whether this is definitely going to happen or not is not determined, however, it definitely does make sense. Even further proof of our kraken theory is backed up from the game's files itself that are never actually going to lie. With that said, the only body part we have right now revealed of this creature is the head, and considering there is not only one but two sets of files indicating this only as the only body part or part of the creature itself, is the head going to be the only part of this creature? It definitely looks that way so far, considering we've only been leaked towards this in the game's files, not only once, but twice. As many of you may know, an octopus or kraken is predominantly just a head besides its obvious tentacles. Is this further proof right here from the files indicating that the only thing frozen at the iceberg or the bottom of it is a head. The very tentacles attached to this creature could simply be free roaming underneath this iceberg's surface underwater. Speaking of these tentacles, as you guys can see in the concept I made for today's thumbnail, what if they break out and we have to deal damage to them, just like as a community we had to deal damage to the moving runes around the map towards the end of Season 8. This could and probably will be our first ever live event boss fight within Fortnite Battle Royale for us to attend one time only. Maybe perhaps the digging site rocks and the runes were simply a tester for damage dealt structures by the community to ultimately result in something bigger once this test had been proven to be something that would work in game. Considering damage dealt structures in Fortnite that we've seen thus far with the runes and the rocks have a tremendous amount of health, how much health do you think each individual tentacle would have if this creature happens to be, upon outbreak, a kraken? Or let me know your thoughts on the overall health of this creature. Either way, whatever happens, however this is implemented, we know an enemy to the Battle Royale realm is ultimately wanting to kill players. They could also very easily innovate into a Battle Royale boss fight, considering they've had game assets or game mechanics like this in Save the World with the Storm King monster. The final thing I want to show you guys is Polar Peak completely destroyed that I briefly showed you in this video. This is just to give you guys perspective on how big this head or creature will be in the depths of this iceberg at the very bottom, frozen. Despite the castle taking up a lot of room of this iceberg, what you have to consider is the layers beneath, like the prisoner's dungeon. So with this said, based off the size of the eye, what do you guys think is contained underneath here and how big will it be upon reveal? Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys in today's video, so let me know everything you think about what I've mentioned in the comment section down below in regards to my theories and everything I've mentioned, and also your own personal input. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful or want to keep referring back to it or share it with friends, then make sure you're leaving a like on the video down below. Also make sure you're subscribing to the channel as well to keep up to date with everything developing in terms of progression towards this Season 9 live event occurring. Hopefully I can see you guys in the future videos to come by staying active in the comment section down below, and I'm out. Have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are whenever you're watching. Have a good one, take it easy, and as always, peace.